How can you learn to trust your intuition more than you already do? Particularly when it's difficult, because there's a lot of noise going on around you in the world right now. And whether that's the wider world or your own personal world, your brain will tell you all the reasons why following your intuition is, oh, don't do that. So I want to explore that one today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Sonia Davis, and these are my Wednesday wanderings. Now, you may notice, particularly if you've been here for a while, it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday, and I'm recording this not out in the park like I usually do, but actually sitting in my office. Reasons for that are, firstly, I'm just having one of those weeks where I lost track of what day it was. Wednesday completely ran away with me, and it was 7 o'clock in the evening before I'd even realised that, oh, hang on a minute. So here I am on Thursday, but that's okay because that's life, isn't it? And it's what I needed yesterday was to not be running around the park trying to record another video, but actually to bring it to you today. And there were more conversations that happened yesterday that really fed into what this topic is for today as well. And that's perfect. That's how I roll. That's what these conversations are meant to be about. So, trusting your intuition, what is that all about, right? And how can you do more of it? It's so difficult. It is difficult. Now, I've been doing some, I mean, it's been crazy. It's been great, but it's been crazy. I've been doing some free expansion audit calls. If you want one of those, if you want to find out what they are, just drop me a message, or I'll put the link in underneath so you can find out more about those. And these are free for 45-minute one-to-one calls with people. Have been taking them through a series of questions, and one of the questions on there has sparked an awful lot of conversation, and that's why I'm doing this subject today, around how much do you trust your intuition on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is not at all and 10 is completely trust it, regardless of how difficult how much my brain shouts at me for it. And I've had some amazing conversations around that, and I wanted to come and bring some of that to you today because I've realized I've had so many conversations this last week about this. So many of you struggle to really trust your intuition. There's a lot of people I've spoken to this week so far who've said, oh yeah, I listen to my intuition, but I don't always trust it. And I always regret it afterwards. And there's that missing piece between knowing what your intuition is saying and tuning into whether it's intuition or fear, because that is another thing that happens. And then learning to ignore the little noises in your head that say, yeah, but that's not sensible. That's not, I shouldn't do that. I should do this. How do you actually do that? And I want to explore that with you today because I think it's really important. I'll tell you about my little story when it comes to trusting my intuition. And someone actually asked me this directly yesterday. When did I learn to trust my intuition? I would give my intuition literally a 10 if I trust it completely, even when it's hard, even when everything in my mind is going, no, that's terrible, don't do that. And it's like, no, but that that intuition says, yes, do this. And I've got to that place. It hasn't always been like this. My goodness, it really has not. And I got to this place when I left my corporate job about 2.5 years ago now. December 22, I left. And I went on a journey probably over the year before that, 12 months before that actually took me on a journey into the depths of myself and learning to trust myself. Basically, I was a senior leader in adult social care, if you haven't heard my story before, and I hit burnout. And that was not because of the job. Don't get me wrong, working in social care through and after the pandemic was not a great place to be, but the job itself wasn't the problem. I worked with some amazing people. We were doing the best we could in an impossible situation. And and I loved making a difference. And I was really committed to that. I was really passionate about it. my burnout happened, and I was also a carer for my mum, and I was doing lots of other things, and I was constantly busy, and oh, loads and loads and loads of things going on. And what actually broke me, got me to the place that I was sitting curled up in a ball on the floor going, I can't do this anymore, was I was squashing myself into a place that I didn't belong. I was trying to fit in with a world that wasn't, in a way that wasn't meant for me. It wasn't my sole mission to be sitting as a senior leader in local government in adult social care, trying to help people in an impossible situation. I've always been about helping people. That's what I'm here for. But the way I was trying to do it through working with social care for the benefit of other people, doing the best I could to change things inside the system, that wasn't me. That wasn't my soul truth. That wasn't where I was supposed to be. And I went through, I access, that's when I accessed therapeutic coaching. That changed my life completely. And that's when I had my light bulb moment. I went, oh, I want to do what you do. And then I retrained, I qualified as a therapeutic coach, and I now teach on the diploma in integrative therapeutic coaching, which is amazing. But in that breaking myself down and then rebuilding myself, and we went right in and rebuilt who I am. And it allowed me to peel back all the layers of me and understand pieces of me that I'd never understood before. I'd just squashed them in to try and fit with the world around me. Trying to fit in was a big part of my life. I never did. And actually, that was the key to it. Stop trying to fit in. Just be you, just be individual, just be unique. And that's perfect. That's what I'm about now, is helping you be unique and individual and perfect, because that's what you are. You're a perfectly imperfect human being with all of your ways you don't fit in, and your foibles and your uniqueness and your quirks and your craziness and your wonderfulness. And I celebrate that in you. And I want you to get to a place where you celebrate that in yourself. That's part of my mission now. I'm digressing on a tangent there, but it is relevant, because when you get to that place that you truly believe in yourself without apology for it, without trying to hide who you are, without trying to squash yourself to fit in, you then unlock your soul truth rather than what your brain's telling you. And when you unlock your soul truth, you start to listen to your heart more, your instincts, your intuition. Now, look, I use these words interchangeably because you watching this now will use different words, and that's okay. And actually, there is no one word to describe this, to really capture this stuff. It's your soul's truth, it's your heart, it's your instincts, it's your gut feeling, it's whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing, right? It's you being there and trusting yourself. That's ultimately what it's about. And when we talk about how do you trust your intuition completely, this is about trusting the core of you. And it's the same when it comes to you showing up in the world and being honest about who you are and not squashing yourself and hiding parts of yourself to try and fit in. That's what it's about. It's all part of the same journey. And that's why I'm sort of going on tangents, but I'm not, because actually it's all one thing. Ultimately, it is all one homogeneous whole. And that's something I fundamentally believe in. It's why I work the way I do with mind, body, spirit, and strategy, because I don't believe you can do anything without having all of them working together as a whole in harmony with each other. They're all individual component parts of the whole that is called you. And your intuition is a big part of that. Your soul, your spirit, your heart is a huge part of that. And in Western society in particular, we've been conditioned over millennia to ignore our intuition and listen to our brains, to not trust. We've been taught through organized religions, and by the way, I'm not bashing organized religions here, just to be really clear. I have no problem with organized religions. But we have been taught, and I'm going back historically here, Okay. Over the last few millennia, we have been taught and conditioned by certain institutions, religious institutions, to hand control of our spiritual self to that organization rather than connecting up with it within ourselves. I personally believe that we are all able to connect with the divine. We are all part of the divine. The divine lives in us and we live in the divine. Now, that's true whatever belief system you follow, any or none, okay? That, I believe, is true. And that aligns with the religious teachings that are in most of the major organized religions as well. So that it really does sit alongside that. This isn't about faith. This is about learning to trust yourself. And what's happened, if we look at the history, I think particularly, for example, the Catholic Church in the sort of early, so the 1200s, 1400s or so, when the church was very, the Catholic Church was very much in its power certainly in Europe, in lots of Europe. And it really, there was a sort of almost a requirement for people to give control of their own spiritual belief system to the organization of the church and be told what to do, how to think, how to believe, how to worship. And that was, I believe, personal view. You may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. I'm always here for debate, respectful debate, but debate. I believe that kind of conditioning created a separation within us of giving control of how we listen to our spiritual self to somebody else, whether that's a person, whether that was a priest in that situation, or, an organization, or whatever it may be for you. Okay. And it will be different for everyone watching this, and that's okay. We've been conditioned through society, and it doesn't matter whether you believe in a religion or not. Okay. We've been conditioned to give that control over to an organization and a spokesperson on behalf of that organization, whether that's a priest or rabbi or whoever it may be for you. Now, I personally believe that the way that we connect with our spirit is actually within us first. And when we find it within ourselves, we're then more able to connect with the divine, whether that is God or Allah or whatever, whoever you choose to focus on, whatever your belief system. And like I say, I'm absolutely, totally respectful of all of those. I have no problems with any form of religion. But the process in society is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the religions themselves. I'm talking about the societal process that led us down a path of giving our power, our spiritual power, to an organization that was outside of us. And I believe that reconnecting with our instincts and our intuition is us taking that back and reconnecting into the divine that lies within us. That's not in any disrespect for any religions. That's from a place of, we hold that within us, that spark. And that allows us then, if you are religious, it then allows you, when you connect with that within you, you're actually able to worship at a more profound and significant level. Finding that within you, your power with the divine, whatever way you call it, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I believe that that's what the divine, whether you call it source or God or whatever you call it, and again, there are lots of labels. I believe that's just a limitation of the human language rather than any disrespect in labeling. I believe that you reclaiming the power of your own connection to the divine is really important. And when you do that, you learn to trust it. And that's what your instincts are. Your instincts are you connecting with your connection with the divine. That spark of divinity that lies in every single one of us. It's an amazing thing. That's your instinct. Your soul, your spirit, your heart, your higher heart knows the right path for you. But when we've along the way outsourced that spark of connection with our soul, we've given control to our heads. We've been taught that logic is the way forward, rational, fit in. Comes back to that fitting in thing again. And that means when you start listening to your intuition, your instincts, wherever that shows up for you, however that shows up for you, and we can talk about that in a sec, and we'll come back to that. When you start listening to it, your brain, because of the way the human brain works, is programmed to go, oh no, we don't trust that. That's not what we're supposed to do. No, let's not say that thing because that's, oh no, let's not do that. When you learn to actually trust it, you find doors open. Things fall into place in a way that you couldn't have anticipated. I've been trusting my instincts 100% for the last, I'm going to say about 3 years, with the decisions I've made, with the choices I've made, with the challenges I've faced. You know, that I'm not going to pretend setting up and running a business is easy. It's not. It's really not. You already know that, right? And there have been times that it's been really hard. And I've always gone and checked in with my instincts rather than trusting my head. And every time I've done that, sometimes I have no idea how it's going to work. Every time it's worked out. I'm here talking to you now. I haven't gone back and got a job somewhere, crushing my soul again, which is what it would do. I'm here talking to you now openly about spirituality and connecting with your intuition. And that's important because that's my evidence that I've trusted my intuition along the way. So how can you actually do that? Let's get a bit practical here, right? We've talked about the philosophy of it all, and that's great, but how can you actually make that happen for you? So here's a little exercise you can do. Really, really simple. 30 seconds, okay? Just take a moment. Find yourself in a quiet space. Just close your eyes. Just take a couple of deep breaths and really come in. Just really land in yourself. When you've calmed yourself just for a moment, like I say, this is just 30 seconds, remember a time when you trusted your instincts. That moment you knew in your body what that felt like. And just take a moment with your eyes closed now to, as you bring that memory, where do you feel it in your body? For many people, it's the stomach, solar plexus area. It may be other places. You will have a physical sensation that that connects with that memory of your intuition coming through. Whether you followed it or not, but when you actually listened to that intuition, you knew your instincts were saying, maybe it's, I need to go and do that thing. And your instincts say, no, you don't, really don't do that. And you go and do it anyway, and then it goes wrong. It's like that moment when your instinct said, no, don't do that. What does that feel like in your physical body? When you've locked that in, you can open your eyes again. And if you wanted to get a comparison, because sometimes your fear can also show up and feel like intuition. Is that a gut feeling? It's like I'm feeling it in my body. Sometimes that can be fear. That can be your nervous system reacting to, oh, no, don't do this, it's too scary. And you call it intuition, and it's not, it's fear. So if you want to work out how that feels, do the same exercise again. So again, close your eyes, just 30 seconds, but close your eyes, a couple of deep breaths, and remember a time when you wanted to do something, but you were too scared to do it. And just take yourself to that memory just for a moment and notice where you feel that in your physical body, because it will be somewhere. And I guarantee you it will be somewhere different to where you felt your intuition. And when you've got that, okay, and you've noticed where those two places are, my fear comes up in my throat. I get a clench in my throat. My intuition is in my solar plexus. They both feel like, oh no, I'm feeling it in my body. Let's not do that. Sometimes one's fear and sometimes one's intuition. So when you know what those things are, the next time you find yourself sitting there going, I want to do this thing, something's driving me towards doing this thing, am I going to trust it or not? Just check in with yourself. Where am I feeling this in my body? Is it in your fear center or is it in your intuition center? If it's in your fear center, that's different. That's not intuition, that's fear. That's a signal to have a look at it. If it's in your intuition center in your body, feel it in your physical body, just take a check in and go, where am I feeling this? Oh, it's in my intuition center. It's where I feel my intuition. Right, okay. That's intuition. Try trusting it. Because the more you trust it, the more you reprogram your brain to go, it's safe to do this. Your brain will throw you all the reasons why you shouldn't. It will tell you, oh, we shouldn't do that. We should do that. That's your brain trying to make you fit in. And it's not trying to sabotage you, it's trying to keep you safe. Because you've been conditioned through your lifetime, through society conditioning, through your own life experiences to keep yourself safe. It's survival 101, right? Our brains, unfortunately, haven't evolved very much since we came down out of caves and there was a chance we could be eaten by a bear or a tiger or whatever it was. It's trying to keep you safe. It's hardwired to do that. But you can reprogram it. So the more you learn to know what intuition feels like in your body, and just try trusting it. See what happens. Give it a go. See what happens. You will start to reprogram your brain so that it stops throwing the fear response every time you trying to sabotage you, every time you try and trust your instincts. That's how you do it. One decision at a time. You can't go from 0 to 10 in one go. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. I'd wave a magic wand and activate it for all of you. But it doesn't. You have to gently, lovingly reprogram your brain. There are ways you can increase the speed of that. Absolutely, there are. And there may be energetic blocks that are holding back from some parts of this. There may be fears that aren't from this lifetime that are holding you back from part of this. The witch wound is a massive one with that. Being able to be seen to do the thing that you do. There's a lot of work needed to get through that one, but it's all possible. It's all possible. And if you want some help with that, please do reach out, because that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I'm launching a brand new program just next week at the time of recording this, on the 1st of July. It's a 6-month rolling program and it's called Expansion. So you can jump in anytime. If you want the details of that, I will drop the link below. There's a video you can watch first, a free thing that you can watch first that explains the concept of it all first. So I'll put the link to that below, and you can have a watch of that if you like. If you want to know more about working with me and how to do that, then that's a really great way to start. And it's completely free, so there's no obligation on that. I'll put the link to that below. But for now, I would love to invite you to learn to trust your intuition more. And no, it doesn't feel easy, but you do it one decision at a time. just check in with your physical body each time you've got a decision to make. Where am I feeling this? Is it coming from fear or is it coming from intuition? What am I feeling? Give it a go. Try it. Try it with something small to start with. It doesn't have to be massive. Just give it a go and see what happens. Oh, I have loved chatting with you about this today. I think we went off on a bit of a ramble about all sorts of things, but it has been great. Thank you so much for being here. I genuinely appreciate you being in my world right now. It's hard when there's so much going on out there in the wider world. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of fear mongering. Please do trust. The more you trust your intuition, the more you can move beyond the fear that is being created and generated, in some cases artificially as well. And that's when you come into yourself and you bloom and you blossom, and that's when things get better. I believe that the more of us step away from the fear and into the truth of ourselves, the more we'll change the world. And we do it from within us, not from trying to control out there. That's what I believe. If you want to talk about that, we can do that another time. Please do like this video if you've enjoyed what I've talked about today. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, so you don't miss future videos. I do a Monday weekly card guidance and a Wednesday wanderings. So sometimes they're on Thursday because I lose track of what day it is. Sometimes that's what happens, and that's what obviously was meant to be today. So I'm taking that. I am sending you loads of love and light and beautiful sparkly blessings. And I will see you back here again very soon. Do take care, and have a wonderful rest of your week.